Please welcome this week's special guest, James Dean Hicks.
Hi, my name is James Dean Hicks, and yes, that really is my name. My parents had a great sense of humor.
Well, we had 6 boys and 1 girl, and James was the in-between, was 3 ahead of him, 3 behind him, you know.
One of the main reasons I am successful is because my parents bought me a guitar and a chord book, and I started learning how to sing and entered me in 4-H contests and different things like that. Within a few months, at 10 years old, I was opening for Conway Twitty and Merle Haggard and people like Roy Acuff and Ernest Tubb.
Well, the first one was named Eddie. They called him Wayne Rainey for some ways or another. And then John Wayne came along. He was after the Duke, you know.
I moved to Nashville the day after I got out of college. I didn't know one single person, but I knew it's where I wanted to be. And I happened to walk into a couple of the right doors, I guess you could say.
And then Diane came along, and poor thing, we just named her Mary Diane after a blessed mother, I guess.
But I started having cuts pretty quick on the Oak Ridge Boys and Conway Twitty and Sammy Kershaw and Kenny Chesney and even Johnny Cash.
And then James Dean come along, which was James Dean in the movies, you know, then Jimmy Dean Sausage.
And these days, things are going pretty well again. I've got cuts on new artists like Joel Krause and John Wolfe.
The next one is, help me.
Everybody comes to Nashville chasing a dream, and we all want to be the next Merle Haggard or the next George Strait. And we all come here, and there's only so much room at the top, but I've been very fortunate that I get to go out and play shows. I do about 250 shows a year on the road, from corporate entertainment to writing songs with people, and I really love what I do for a living.
Charles Patrick, which was pretty normal, and the next one was Joe Paul, and the next one was George Ernest, which he was born 2 days after Jimmy did a show at the Ernest Tubb Record Shop.
I was riding with my friend Skip Ewing one day, and we were talking about Merle Haggard, and I told him, I said, if Merle Haggard would sing one of my songs, I could quit and go home and tell everybody I made it, and that would be enough for me. And he thought that would be a great idea for a song, so we wrote it, and our dream was always that Merle Haggard would sing the last couple of lines of the song if we ever got it recorded. And 5 years later, singing it at the Bluebird, my friend Tim Johnson heard me one night, and he got Blaine Larson to sing it, and sure enough, Merle Haggard sang the last few lines on his record.
I've been walking these streets of Nashville since I was just a kid, either in my boots or in my dreams. I sold my car and bought this Martin. I've been richer since I did, even though I can't afford to change the strings. And I've heard a lot of no's and no thank yous. Hey, I've fought the thought of giving up for years, but I still could be an overnight sensation. It would only take one sympathetic ear. If Merle would sing my song, then I could go back home and tell everyone I know that dreams come true. Well, I'd be someone in their eyes, a face that they don't recognize. I could prove to them and me I wasn't wrong if Merle would sing my song. Hey, I've played this old guitar in every honky-tonkin' bar, but as of yet they haven't noticed me. But this old heart and soul of mine is filled with memories, chords, and rhymes, and I believe I'm the future they can't see. I could maybe make $1 million choking in a tie, but then I'd have to live with my regrets. I can't believe God gave me all these dreams to let them die. Hey, I'll make it big, it just hasn't happened yet. But if Merle would sing my song, then I could go back home and tell everyone I know that dreams come true. Hey, I'd be someone in their eyes, a face that they don't recognize. I could prove to them and me I wasn't wrong if Merle would sing my song. Yeah, I could prove to them and me I wasn't wrong. Well, I've been walking these streets of Nashville since I was just a kid, either in my boots